Hi, I'm Dargie and this is 5 Minute Photography, where we break down photography learning into simple chunks of 5 minutes or less. Today we're talking about back button focus. What is back button focus and how can you use it to make your photography better? Before we get into that, let me invite you to subscribe to the channel and give the video the old thumbs up if you like it. That really makes a difference. And you can get my free ebook, 3 Steps to Better Photographs, on my website, grahamdargie.com. Okay, let's get into it. By default, the shutter release button also activates autofocus. When you have pressed the shutter release button, the autofocus starts to look for something to lock onto. Back button focus removes the focusing function from the shutter release button, reassigns it to another button which you press with your thumb on the back of the camera, and frees up the shutter release button to only operate the shutter. Having an extra button to press doesn't sound like it should make things easier, but somehow with back button focus it does. With traditional focusing, you have to choose between single focus, continuous focus, or manual focus. But when you're using back button focus, you kind of can use all 3 of those modes at the same time. For me, the best way to use back button focus is with the autofocus mode in continuous. That's AFC on Nikon or AI Servo on Canon. If you're shooting a static subject, you can find focus by pressing the button on the back of the camera and then release the button. That effectively locks focus on the subject. If you're shooting a moving subject, you simply keep your thumb on the button and it will always continue to track the subject. If you're shooting something that isn't moving but might move, then you can find focus with the back button, release to lock focus. If the subject does move a little bit, you can tap the button again. That will just re-find the focus on the subject. If the subject moves a lot, then you can just keep your thumb down on that button and start to track focus. Remember, you're in AFC here, continuous autofocus. If you need to fine-tune the focus, you can do that manually without switching the mode to manual focus. Changing this setting on your camera will probably mean delving into the dreaded menu. So check your camera manual to find out how to change the back button focus on your camera. Don't forget that as well as changing the focusing function to the back button, to also remove the focusing function from the shutter release button. Once you're set up, I recommend going out with your camera for half an hour using back button focus. It'll take a few minutes to get used to, and some people just can't get their hands around it, but I think most people, once they try back button focus, they don't go back. The best way to use back button focus is to have the focusing mode in continuous. That's AFC for Nikon or AI Servo for Canon. Leave the focusing mode in continuous whether you're shooting a static or a moving subject. If you have a static subject, remember, find focus and release the button. That locks the focus on the distance that you found the focus to. If the subject moves a little, you can tap the back button to re-find focus as that subject slightly moves. If it's a moving subject, you just keep your thumb on that back button and track the subject as you normally would. And if you've got a moving subject coming into your frame, you can pre-focus on, say, the bird feeder, release the back button to lock the focus on that distance and just wait for the bird to come in, land on the feeder, and then you're already focused on that distance. You can just shoot without worrying about finding focus as the bird flies into the frame. And I'm sure you can see how that's transferable to other subjects as well. As you move further along your photography journey, you'll want to take more and more control of your photography, and back button focus is a great step along the way. When we get the camera set up in our favor, it makes our photography so much easier. And once you make the move to back button focus and get used to it, you'll find that your focusing is faster and more accurate in every situation. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you took something away from that video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give the video the thumbs up if you liked it, and head to my website where you can find my free ebook 3 Steps to Better Photographs and find out about my photography tuition tours and safaris. Take care, enjoy your photography, stay safe, I'll see you out there.